Hi everyone, Livy here, back with another video. This time it's a different kind of VR. So this is a VR to a rosebud cauldron, and her tag is called Glorious Guidebooks. So these are basically the guidebooks that you think are honestly the best in your collection. Now, I'm not going to stay on this one too long, but this is a new one that I really like. This is the Guided Hand Tarot Guidebook. If you watch my other video where this deck is featured, where I flip through it, you know this guidebook is extensive. This is like how much you get for the major arcana. And I also think it's just great because of this page. A lot of great beginning stuff for, well, beginners, right? So that's why I wanted to mention this one really quick. But let's show some of the other ones I have. I'm just going to go in order of this tower thing I have on the side. This is a Spacious Tarot. I want to mention this guidebook because, well, actually, technically there's two in here, right? When they had an expansion pack recently, there's also a little guidebook here. And I like it because it gives you some spreads. It gives you like different ways you can use the expansion pack. But each of the cards are just, they're nicely written, like paragraphs. So I'm a Leo. I can even say, I can read this very quickly. Leo unleashes a brilliant self-expression. With this level of confidence in your unique identity, you can shine brightly just like a firefly. So the firefly is one of the images that are on the card. So it gives like good meanings, good explanations for why they chose what they chose in the expansion. But even the Spacious Tarot Guidebook, it's pretty chunky. It's good. And see this is tabs. So it tells you each of the, like if I go to this, you'll see, okay, that was majors. These are pentacles, swords, wands. And it's just a lot of good detail. I'll just pick a random, I'll show you. Well, the majors have more, right? They have more to them. But if I choose a minor, Two of Swords, avoidance, indecision. The Two of Swords points you towards what you are denying. And so it gives you like questions to think about. And then it also gives you context for why the card is the way it is. So for me, this is good. I like this. I really like this guidebook, and especially because of its focus on spaciousness. So I wanted to mention this one. I do think this is a good one for those who have this deck. But I'm not getting into the cards today. Today's about the guidebook. Next up, how could you do a video about guidebooks and not mention this deck? Even though this is, okay, this is a little cheating. This is an oracle deck. This is the only oracle, though, I'm going to be featuring, I swear. But the Seed and Sickle oracle deck has to be featured, besides the fact that it's like a beautiful boxing. And I know now this is pronounced she. I butchered this last time. I'm so sorry. I don't know much on that context, but the reason why I have to feature this one on a video about guidebooks is because it has two guidebooks. I'll leave the deck behind. This deck is amazing and has two different guidebooks depending on what kind of work you intend to do with the deck. So this is the dawn one, this is the dusk. And it gives you an explanation in the back, right? It says, this book contains the dawn readings for the cards. Perfect if you're starting a new project, building new relationships, or focusing on revitalizing yourself. And whereas the dusk says, this booklet contains the dusk readings for the cards for when you're looking for guidance on how best to take care of your body and mind. So that alone is just like, whoa, so much you can go into. And I'll give you an example. So how it works is in the beginning of each of the guidebooks, it gives a little forward. Oh yeah, Yoshitani. I'm going to come back to her. But she gives a little introduction on the forward, or does the forward. There's a quick reading guide here if you really just want the keywords of each of the cards that are featured in the deck. And then it goes into the cards. And it goes, no matter which guidebook it is, where it's dusk or it's the dawn, it always goes by seasons. So it's divided into all the seasons. Spring, wait, does this deck actually have all the seasons? I think it does. I'm pretty sure they have all of them. Let me see if I can find it. Unless it doesn't. This one might just be spring and... yeah, this might actually just be spring and... let me see what the back... fall? Is this fall? Sorry as I look for this. I swear, I'm pretty sure it's... yeah, spring and fall. So in the dawn, it's spring and it's fall. In the dusk... it's summer and winter. Yeah, this is summer. And then the other cards are winter. That's not 100%. Well, maybe it is. I need to look a little deeper. That's not what's relevant. What I'm going to show you is no matter which guidebook you have, whether it's spring or fall, it still gives a different meaning for each of the cards. We'll just look at Belladonna. I'll show you how Belladonna reads in this deck versus this one. Because depending on what work you're doing, the cards take on different meanings. So that's why it's important to have both of these, obviously. And let me see. So let's read Belladonna in the Dawn guidebook. So it says, Belladonna. Belladonna is a card of inevitability and sacrifice. There is a conflict inside of you, making it difficult to focus on the task at hand. The shears of Atropos, the Greek goddess of fate who gives Atropa Belladonna its name, are snipping at the threads you've carefully put into place. Perhaps it is a time to sit back and consider where things have become entangled. You may have to place some of your other projects aside to stop the main one from becoming completely knotted. So that's in the Dawn. But how Belladonna reads in this deck, in this guidebook, let me see if I can find it. Belladonna was what number? 20? Oop, I'm a little far ahead. 23. Here we go. This is how Belladonna reads if you have the dusk. So different card meaning slightly. So Belladonna is a plant beloved by the devil, and he gifts many of its magical abilities to his allies. So fiercely does he care for it that he leaves a black hen to guard it when he is not present. You may not realize how many people value you and are looking out for your well-being. Support will come from them when you're least expecting it. But remember, when it does, that relationships like these are rare and hard to come by. See what I mean? Very different meanings depending on the type of work that you're doing. But every card, and I believe there's 50, what did it say on the box? Oh, nope, never mind. I don't think the box says it. I'm looking. Oh, yes, it does. I lied. Sorry. It contains 55 cards. So each of the guidebooks features them and all those meanings. So this is a really great oracle. And yeah, it just had to be mentioned how the guidebooks were, I'm going to try to go a little quicker with some of these now. Okay, next one. You thought I could get away from this deck, huh? This is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot's guidebook, which is called Illuminating the Prophecy. This guidebook is amazing. So much so, as you can see, that I literally have notes and other things smashed inside of it. This was my first tarot deck, and I was so glad that this was the guidebook I got as my first, because it gives... Maggie Stivater just does really good writing for this book. Like, look at every single card, regardless of wow, cannot even talk today. Regardless of if it's a major or a minor, gets at least a whole page and a little bit. So honestly, in that vein, excellent, right? Oh, these are my personal notes. Sorry. I was also, when I was first starting out, I was putting like the spreads and stuff in here. But it gives you, whole chapters before you even get to Major Arcana talking about things. Oh, that's also one of my own spreads I created. It gives you very detailed notes about like how tarot works and what you need to do. Her guidebook alone, I cannot recommend it enough. It really helped me in figuring out the cards and their meanings and just everything. And of course, it even has the keywords. So this is one of the very best you can hope for as a beginner, in my opinion. Excellent guidebook. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Cannot recommend this one enough. It had to be featured in this video. Next, I'm going to talk just briefly about this freaking tarot deck. So I'm not taking it out today. There's Yoshitani again, right? Tarot of the Divine. When you get this deck, it only comes with this. And you could say, while it's in color, as you can see, it's a very tiny thing. It does tell you where each of the myths and stories come from that are featured on the cards. So I appreciate it. And it does have the keywords. But this as is very tiny, right? It's not, it does have some spreads. But this wouldn't normally be a really great guidebook, in my opinion. It does its bare minimum. It does the basic, okay? Why I'm featuring it, though, is because I feel like this, maybe I can zoom out. Yes. Oh, I have a candle going. This, in my opinion, is probably the real guidebook. Well, or that, or you need it in conjunction. Unfortunately, you have to pay separate for this, right? It's an extra, what does it say here? It's an extra 18 US, 24 Canadian to get this book. But I do think it's good to get the context on the cards because as you can see, it goes in detail about all the stories of all the cards and everything that's featured. This makes it worth it. This is great to have the context of these stories. But I kind of wish that this had been tied to this better, you know? That's all I'm saying. Love it, but why wasn't this in there? You know what I mean? Because it puts extra work, especially for beginners. Like, how are they going to know all the context of this if it's not in here, you know? That's just my opinion, but yeah. I needed to mention this. These together, though, are great. Great together. Why weren't they already together? I don't know. But anyways, gonna move on. The last guidebook I'm gonna mention is amazing. Amazing. I cannot even begin to describe. Like if you have one of these decks or both of these decks and you don't have this guidebook, I'm going to judge you a little bit because I think you should. Although it does run into the same annoying thing where you do have to buy this separately. But let me show you what I'm talking about. I have to zoom out again because this is a behemoth. This book is heavy too, like heavy. This is the Book of Prismavisions, an exploration of the Tarot Arcana. But look, wait, there's more. It's called the Big Visions book because it has both books, the Book of Prismavisions and the Cosmovisions Oracle. And you're probably thinking, well, what the heck? It only said Prismavision, right? But wait. There it is. There it is. On the other side of the Big Visions book is the Cosmovisions Oracle. I'm like, what in the world? Like, it's so smart, but it's so good and it's so big. The edges are sprayed in black. It even has this little thing. Let me show you. This guidebooks, I guess, is amazing. So on this side, as you can see, there's the Cosmovisions, and there's a lot of great stuff in here. It goes into a lot on his creation of the Cosmovisions, the process, You can see a little bit of the cards that are in the Cosmovisions Oracle, how to use it. There's some good spreads in here. I've done this spread. It's just so detailed. This is like, you could literally just study and read up on this deck. So on this side, as you can see, it goes into the cards of the Cosmovision. And also, as you can see, this is a lot. This is a lot. Even the Cosmovision's Oracle has upright and reversed meanings. Okay, this is very detailed. And this is just the side that's Cosmovisions. But if I flip it over... Oh, yeah, I have a bookmark in there. If I flip this over and go to Prismavisions, right, it's the same exact thing. The same amount of detail is given to these cards. And it doesn't matter, by the way, if it's a major arcana card or if it's a minor. And I'm going to, leave that in there. I'm going to show you. Okay. The minors get the same exact treatment as, in my opinion, they should be. Minor ranting there. I always hate when guidebooks, they only put the emphasis on the major arcana, because here's why I think this. Even though this is called a minor arcana because it's for those little moments you have in life that are more transitory, right? They're not always happening to you. You're not always living in Queen of Wand energy, right? But I feel like most people live in their day-to-day moments more than they do those big events. You know, those big events in the major arcana happen every once in a while. They're not always happening to you throughout a year. So why is this always sidelined? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. So for that reason, and I can even zoom in here so you can get a little bit of context. So you can see the upright meaning. It even gives a little summary of the card, like explaining it, like what image you're seeing here. It's showing the upright meanings and it's showing the reverse meanings. This deck, because the Raven's Prophecy Tarot's guidebook doesn't go into reverse meanings, and I personally use them, this has helped me a lot in remembering what those reversed meanings are. So, great resource, too, if you read in reversals, in my opinion. But yeah, see, and then Cosmovisions is just flipped over. But this guidebook is everything. And I think more people should pick this one up if you have both decks. If you have both, I think this is the most worth it. If you don't, up to you if you want to. But this guidebook is amazing. It's one of the best I have, and that's why it's featured today. If you guys liked this video, just let me know. Let me know in the comments below. I hope this was informative for you. I need to look at more of these VRs, hopefully, when they come out. But yes, thank you to a Rosebud Cauldron for starting this off, because I got to finally talk about these. And yeah, I will see you guys next time with another VR. So stay tuned for what that one is. Bye.